My dear students, so today again we are going to start a new chapter. In the last class we have started the fourth chapter, and that is belongs to a planning. So the planning we have discussed, that is one of the basic and most important function in the management. We have discussed it related to an objectives or importances, features, the limitations, and what are the process are going to be followed in the planning. Along with that one, the types of plans we are being discussed in the last sessions. So in this session we are going to start another new chapter related to the second function of a management, that is organizing. So here, before going to start organizing meaning and introduction, I would like to tell something about organizing. So here in the planning, just we are going to make a plans is for an action. That's it. So before going to carry out in the activity, we are going to find or we are going to make a plans. So in an organizing, the next step, that is those plans are going to be bring into an action in the organizing. So here, whatever the plans we are going to be made in an planning function, so those plans are going to be implemented in, or it going to be follow into an action in the organizing in chapter. So according to structure of an organization or according to the requirement of an organization, those plans are going to be made in a plan. So those plans are going to be placed into an action in the organizing function. So here the organizing function completely depends on the planning, because when there is an plans are or in an effectively, so those are in the same way the organizing function also going to be plays a very effective role in an organizing. So let me discuss, that is meaning and definition first. Yes, the first one, meaning and definition. So here organizing can be defined as identifying and grouping different activities in the organization. So first, what the organizing going to do, that when the first it going to identify and grouping different activities in an organization. First is going to identify what are the activities are going to carry out in an organization. So those activities are going to be grouped according to their symptoms or according to their nature or according to the work process. Those activities are going to be grouped and bring together the physical, financial and human resources. So for those activities, it going to be bring into a physical and the financial and the raw materials or human resources to establish the most productivity relations for the achievement of specific goals. So here, the first thing, it's going to be identify what are the activities can be getting in an organization. So those activities are going to be grouped first. After that, according to that group, a nature or work process, it's going to be made it as a physical and financial and human resources are going to be allotted. So after that one, so for what purpose they are going to be make an allotment or bring into an action for the purpose of productivity relations for achievement of the specific goals. So whatever the works we are going to be carried out in an organization, so those main objective is to achieve the organizational goals. So here the first, in the simple words, that is organizing means that which is going to be identify and grouping the different activities which is identified in an organization. So according to their nature, work or a process, they are going to be divide the activities. So that activities are going to, after that one, it going to be make it as a small groups. So that is called as, we can be called it as a department. So here the production department, the production activity comes under the production department. The finance activities comes under finance department. So that is employment related activities or employment, recruitment, staffing, these are comes under the human resources department. So the research that comes under the research and development department. Like this, they are going to be made as a small groups. The groups are nothing but the departments. So that is going to be called as a physical and the financial and human resources are going to be allotted for those groups. So for what purpose? That is to make a production relation. For what purpose? So ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ departments ಇದೆ. So those departments has to be worked. For that one we need a financial support. Along with that one we need a human resources. So those activities are going to be bring into an action in the organizing department. For what purpose? To achieve the organizational goals. This is the simple meaning of organizing. Again, we have another definition. It can be defined as process that initiates implementation of a plan. Yes. So it's going to be implementation of a plan. In a planning chapter we have discussed, just we are going to make a plan. So what are the plans can be made? How has to be taken place? So what are the process we has to be carried out? That we are discussed in planning chapter. In the same way, in an organizing chapter, we are going to be seeing that one. So whatever the plans is made in an organizing planning chapter, those plans are going to be implemented of plans by clarifying the jobs. They are going to be clarify the jobs and working relationships and effectively developing resources for attainment of objectives. So here first is going to be implement the plans, that is by clarifying the jobs and working relationships. So what are the jobs or what the work has to be carried out and working relationship and effectively developing. They are going to see the relationship of the workers or working the production department or purchasing department. They are going to be see the working relationship for each and every department and effectively developing resources. So it is going to be develop the resources, that is effectively for what purpose? Attainment of a objective, to reach the objectives or to reach the certain goals of a organization. This is another meaning of a organization. The simple word, that is going to implementation of a plans by clarifying the jobs and working relationships and effectively developing resources for that one. So to carry out the work we need resources, whether it may be machinery or whether it may be raw material or human resources or finance, whatever it may be. So that allotment also plays a very important role according to the requirement of an activity. So those activities can be seen in an organizing. For what purpose they are going to be allotted? To reach the organizational goals. This is the second meaning. The third one, according to Lewis Allen, organizing is the process of identifying and grouping of the work to be performed. So it is going to be identify. So namavagale first meaning alli helidagene, it is going to be identify the work and group those activities to be performed in an organization. Defining and delegating responsibility. Delegating is nothing but that is giving an guidelines. That is called as a delegating anta heli kariತೀವಿ. So delegating responsibility and authority and establishing relationships. That is we are discussing in first chapter what is responsibility and authority. Authority means that is right to give an order. Responsibility means right to take an obligation. It's an obligation. So and establishing relationships. It's going to be build the relationship for responsibility and authority. That is by superior to a subordinates or top management to a managers or managers to a workers by creating an authority and responsibility. For the purpose of enabling the people to work most effectively together in accomplishing the objectives. Yes, by providing responsibility and authority and creating a relationship among all the workers, it's going to be create for what purpose? That is to be work has to be carried out more effectively, and that is they all have, that is top level, middle level and lower level, all the levels of management, their accomplishing is to reach the organizational goals. So here single, that is our top level cannot, all the works cannot be completed by top level. So without a top level, the middle level and lower level, all the works cannot be completed. So here the work has to be completed or the objectives has to be reached means, that is there should be a contribution from a top level, middle level and lower level. So all the three levels are also going to be plays a very important role to accomplish the desired goal. This is the definition given by Lewis Allen according to organizing. So again I am going to explain. Lewis Allen is going to be says that organizing is the process. It is not a single activity. It's a completely a process. So what kind of process? That is identify and grouping. So they are going to be identify the activity and those activities going to be grouped according to their nature, according to their working process or according to their timing agirbodu. So idra related agi they used to make a grouping of an activity to be performed. So what to be performed or what to be carried out in an organization. So define what to be performed, defining. So exactly what the work has to be carried out. It is going to be stated definitely in an organizing. And delegating. Delegating is nothing but providing a guidelines. That is delegating responsibility and authority by providing a authority to the managers or to some level and responsibility. Along with that one, establishing a relationship. So between authority and responsibility or building relationship to departmented for the purpose of, for what purpose? For the purpose of enabling people to work more effectively. For what purpose? By creating. For what purpose they are going to create the relationship? For the purpose of, that is the workers has to be carry out the work in effectively. So when there is a good coordination, when there is a good communication between the all the levels in an organization, so there is no conflicts between the workers. So when there is no conflicts, when there is a clear picture about the work, what the work has to be carried out, then obviously there will be a good environment to a worker. So when there is a good environment, obviously, or when there is a good satisfaction among the workers in a working process, obviously there will be efficiency and effectiveness can be seen, and together in accomplishing the object. Together is nothing but a top level, middle level and lower level. All the three levels has to be togetherness to accomplish the objective. This is what according to Lewis. So first he is going to simplify. The work has to be identified. After that it should be grouped. After that one, define the work, what the work has to be carried out. It should be definitely defined in an organization. So according to that one, they should provide the delegation. That is, authority has to be taken and responsibility has to be taken in an organization. For what purpose? To building a relationship. So when we provide the authority and when we respond by carrying out an obligation, so we can create the relationship, and it's going to be make that one to reach work in an effective manner. So when we carry out the work in an effective manner, obviously we can reach the desired goals. So that is Lewis Allen is going to be define the organizing. The next one, according to Theo Hyman, organizing is the process of defining and grouping the activities of the enterprise. So again we are going to be says that one, it's a process of what? Defining, identifying, defining, both are same similar meaning words, and grouping of the activities of the enterprises. One organization or one unit or one enterprises alli first thing we used to be identify the activities or defining the activities and grouping those activities in an organization and establishing authority relationship among them. Yes, after that one grouping that that one, they should create the authority among the grouping and they should create the relationship among them. For what purpose? To reach the goals. This is what the according to Theo Heimann. So here, in this meaning and definition, so you can take any one. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಈಸಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೋ ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲಿಯಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು, ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, you can choose that one and you can learn that one. So no need of learning all the definitions and all the meanings. So which you feel easy, so that definition can be learned, but must and should you have to learn any one meaning and any one definition in all the concepts. So that's why I am going to be given two meanings and two definitions. For all that purpose I am going to give that one. So here in simple, organizing is identifying. Organization is the process of identifying and grouping the activities which are found in an organization and building the relationship by creating authority and responsibility to reach the organizational goals. It's a simple meaning of organizing. So I would like that one you have learned about the organizing meaning and definition, clear about that. Yes, the next one is, so in the same way, so we are learned planning a process in an nodvi. Adhe tara same it as in an organizing also there is a process. So for that one here only four steps are there. The first one, identification and division of work, departmentalization, assignment of duties, establishment of reporting relationships. So for this one you have to draw the diagram by creating a link. So what I used or what I showed in our planning chapter, same link na provide madi by creating a link to our identification to a departmentalization. After that one, department to assignments and assignments to establishment. So link na by providing link you can draw the diagram for a process. So here the first one, identification and division of work. Yes, in the meaning only we are see that one. The meaning, it's a process of identifying and grouping. Yes, here the grouping is nothing but division of work. What is going to be said, sir? The process of organizing starts with the identification and division of work. It's the first process in an organizing. First we should identify what are the activities as we are going to be found that one. So according to those activity and according to the situation, according to the time being or according to the work process, we are going to be divide those identified activities into a small groups. So the whole work is to be divided into manageable activity so that one duplication is avoided and work can be completed as per the predetermined goals. So for our purpose I am going to be group the activities for to avoid the duplication and to avoid the and to also avoid the duplication in an organization. So same again, there is no we cannot be seen the repetition again and again in an organization in such activity. For that purpose the activity or the identified activities are going to be grouped for a purpose of avoiding of duplication or avoiding of errors in an activity, and work can be completed as per the predetermined goals. So yes, when we make a small groups of an activity, then the effectiveness will be more. The time period, the consumptions of a time will be can be minimized. For that purpose, when we make a big activity into a small activities or by dividing small activity, we can be complete the goals as per predetermined times. So in time period in that time period only we can be completed the activity, that is identifying and grouping of work or division of work. So here identifying means That is, what are the activity we are going to be found in an organization. Those activities are first has to be identified. After that one, it has to be make a division. So that work has to be made as a small groups and as a manageable activity. For what purpose? To avoid the duplication and to avoid the errors or mistakes or bias in that activity. And also it helps to make or it helps to reach the organizational goals in a predetermined goals or predetermined time period we can be completed the works. So that is first steps in our organizing process. The next one, the departmentalization. The second process is departmentalization. So what is departmentalization? Departmentalization refers to the process of grouping the activities of similar nature and the same departments. So now identify ಆಯ್ತು, grouping ಆಯ್ತು. So in grouping ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? That is department. That is similar nature of a work. It going to be made as a single department. That is called as a departmentalization. So again I am repeating. So the similar work or the similar nature of a work, it going to be made as a small department. So according to our department ge suitable aguvanthadana ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, call it as a departmentalization. So these facilities specialization and coordination. So ಏನನ್ನ build ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ departmentalization? For what purpose we have to make a departmentalization? To build a coordination and specialization. The best example, the production department. The production department is specialized in producing a product. The purchasing department, it specialized in purchasing of raw materials or purchasing of machineries. And our human resources development department, it specially belongs to our human resources, selection, recruiting, training, development. So whatever it may be, it completely belongs to our human resources and that is completely specialized in human resources. So that is an example for specialization. So here when we make a departmentalization, it helps to specialization and to build a better coordination among department to department or workers to department. So when we have a good coordination in an organization, so it helps to reach a better communication. There will be a good communication in all the organization and the works will be carried out in a smooth manner with effective and efficiency. The next one, the following are the ways of departmentalization. So on which way they are going to be make a department. So there is a three ways. So first thing, departmentalization no grouping of similar nature under the same department. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಅದರ ಹೋಲು ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನೇಚರ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತದನ್ನ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. That is called as a departmentalization. So you are going to provide the specialization and coordination. So the departmentalization, on what basis they are going to be made by? There are three ways or three methods are there. Under the first one, on the basis of function, on the basis of type of product manufactured and on the basis of territory. The first one, on the basis of function. The activities are grouped into different departments on the basis of various function. For example, purchase department for purchases activity, finance department for finance activity. According to departmentalization, how they are going to be make a departmentalization? We have a three process. So in that first one, on the basis of function, on the basis of type of product manufactured and on the basis of territory. The first one, on the basis of function, means that is the activities are grouped according to their work. So what are the works that are going to be carried? The best example, purchase department for purchases activity. So raw material purchasing or machinery purchasing. So or some equipments or tools are purchasing. So those are comes under the purchasing department. So yeah, purchasing all the activities. So whatever they may be purchased, those purchasing activities comes under the purchases department. Now another one example, finance department department for finance activity. So what for all the activities, the finance is a blood, like a blood in an organization. So whatever the work we are going to be carried out it, so for all the works we need a finance. So here the finance department duty is to supply the finance to all the departments. So whatever they are going to be carry out the finance activity, so those are, that is financial, that is money related activity, those are comes under the finance department. So here under the purchase department, the function is purchase activity. The finance department, under the finance department, the finance, that is the function of a activity, that is finance is a function of an activity. On that basis, they are going to be made it as a departmentals. That is on the basis of the function of an activity in an organization, they are going to be made it as a department. So that is purchase department and a finance department. The next one, that is on the basis of type of product manufacture. So here the activities are grouped into different departments on the basis of production products manufactured. The best example, textile division, food division, etc. So here this way is going to be suitable for a large sector of organization. Why means here a large sector organization or large sector organization, they used to provide the different products under one organization. The best example, that is Parle Industries or Nestle industry or Coca-Cola industry, whatever it may be. So their products are different, is it? So on the basis of that one, they are going to be make it as that is on the basis of product manufactured. That is the best example. For example, I am producing a product, chocolates, the cloths, the sanitizers, or medicals, or next snacks. So these are examples. In chocolate ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಆ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have so many departments. The best example, chocolate purchases department, the chocolate finance department. ಈ ತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಏನು ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್. So under a chocolate we have so many departments. In the same way, so I am producing a textile or clothes. Under the clothes product we have a different departments. So these one going to become under the, that is on the basis of product manufacture. The next one, on the basis of territory. Here the activities are grouped on the basis of different territory. The best example, north, south, east, west or example. So here on the basis of territory andre north ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಸೌತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಈಗ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. on the basis of south there will be a different departments. So like that one, so the departments are also going to be divided on the basis of, that is on the territory, that is north, south and east and west. So these are the three bases, that is which belongs to a departmentalization. Departmentalization is nothing but that is grouping a similar natured activity under a single group. The best example, production department for production purpose, purchasing department for purchases purpose, like that one. The next one, on that departmentalization we have three ways or three methods are going to be founded. In that one, the first one on the basis of function, that is best example, purchasing department under the purchases activity, finance department for finance activity. Next one on the basis of product manufacture, here the manufacture, that is on the basis of product, the textile department. The best example that I am going to show, XYZ organization is producing textile and food. So under the textile they are going to be divided as a different departments. That is production department, purchasing department, finance department, HR department and research and development department. In the same way, in the production again they are going to be make it as a department. So the production department, purchasing department, the finance department, and HR department, research and development department. Yes, this is an example for on the basis of product manufactured. So here the departments are divided on the basis of a product produced by a company. So here a XYZ company is producing two products, that is textile and food products. So here a textile product is going to be a different departments. The food products will be different departments. So whatever the products are purchased for textile departments, that will comes under the purchasing department of textile product. So in the same way the food products, so whatever the amount has been spent in a food product for the purpose of food product, that is comes under the finance of a food product manufactured in a single unit. This is an example for on the basis of type of product manufacture. The next one, on the basis of territory. So here on the basis of territory, that is the branches or the different groups will be made on the basis of north, south and east. So here for example, so in Mysore, so we have 4 units. 4 units irutte ankoli. So for this unit, that is south, north, east, west anta ankoda. So here south ge there will be a different departments, production department, research department. So north gu kuda enirutte departments will be there, east gu different departments will be there. So for the west also there will be a different departments. So this is an example for departmentalization which are going to be made in the departmentalization. The next one, third one, assignment of duties. Yes, though so here the first in the first process we are identified and group the activity. Second one, according to that thing we had made the departmentalization. After that, third one, assignment of duties. So here it is a necessity to assign the work to the employees according to their skills and competencies. So here they are going to be assigned the duties to our workers who are belongs to which group. Why? After that one, so after the identification or after the departmentalization, so next we are going to be make a assignment of duties. So under the departments, under the concerned activities, so what are the activities are going to be comes and how much of workers are needed. So what are the duties are going to be carried out, that are going to be seen in an assignment of duties. So in other two, ensure effective performances in an organization. See, why they are going to make a departments means we should reduce the confusion. So ಯಾವ ವರ್ಕ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಹೇಗೆ ಯಾವ ವರ್ಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಯಾವ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. And along with that one, there should not be any duplication among the departments, so there should not be any duplication in the works. So in that cases, when we make a separate section for each activities in an organization, so then easily we can identify that one which department is carrying what activity. So atha yava activities galanna yaar carry ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, so what is their efficiency, so that easily can be identifiable. So it's essential that a balance is created between the nature of the job and ability of the employees. Yes, so in an assignment of duties, easily we can identify the nature of the job. So what is the nature or what is the feature of a job, and along with what is the strength of an ability or strength of a employee, or what is his skills and knowledges. So here best example, person A. So the person is specialized in finance field. So he is specialized in finance field. So this person has to be recruited for a finance department itself. Whether if we are recruited for a production department, so his duty is going to be, we cannot find effectiveness in our work process because his specialization in only in finance, not in a production department. Is it? In the same way, when we recruit or when we assign the duty, Mr. A, when we assign the duty to Mr. A in a finance field, obviously we can find the efficiency in our work process. Is it? Because his knowledge, his skills and his ability belongs to a finance. So whatever he had learned, whatever he had educated in the field of finance. In the same way, if we recruited the production employee to a finance department, in the same way we are going to be identify the trouble in working nature, the confusion in working process. We cannot identify the efficiency in an working process. We may face the negativity in an organization. In that cases, that is helps to make simplification, that is assignment of a duty. So which worker is ability to do the a particular work according to his skills and knowledges and requirement of a department. The next one, the fourth one, establishment of reporting relationship. So where allocation of work is not enough. So here each individual should know for whom he has to take orders and to whom he has to accountable. So here, before going to say that one, what is accountable? Accountable is nothing but answerable. Accountable is nothing but answerable. Okay. Responsibility. Yes, accountability. Authority means order. Responsibility means obligation. Accountability means answerability. So here authority means right to give an order. Responsibility means it's an obligation of carrying out orders. So after that, accountability means answerable for the orders. So notable, authority means right to give an orders. Responsibility means obligation. It's an responsible to carry out the orders of a top level. After that one, accountability means it's an answerability. So answerability means what the work has been given. So that work is going to be completed in obligation or in responsibility. So that one answer is going to be made made again to an order, that is a top level. ಯಾರು ನಮಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ sending an or reporting, that process is called as a accountability, that is answerability. So here first thing they used to be make each individual should know, means each individual worker in an organization, they should definitely or definitely they know that one for whom I am going to be communicate. That is which person is going to give an order for me, for whom I am going to be communicated, or for whom I am going to be report the duties. So these questions has to be definitely identified in an organization for each employees. ಯಾರು ನಮಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಲಿಗೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೂಮ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಆನ್ಸರಬಲ್, ನನ್ನ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ defined in an organization, that is in an establishment of reporting relationship. So here orders and responsibility and answerability, it creates a link. Orders in the responsibility in the accountability, then again it going to be report to a top level or a order given person. ಯಾರು ನಮಗೆ authoritative person ಇರ್ತಾರೋ, again it going to provide the link. Is it? In the same way, that thing has to be defined in an organization. For example, ಈಗ ನಾನು manager ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, so manager under I am a superior. So that superior, the manager is going to be give an order to one superior. So here the superior has to carry out the works and he has to answer again to a manager. So the superior has to be well known to for whom I has to be report. ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ helps to create a hierarchical structure and helps in coordination among the various departments. Yes. So here, so when we know exactly for whom I am going to be communicated, it brings good relationship between, and along with that one, it helps to create the hierarchical structure. Hierarchical structure is nothing but a scalar chain that is we are discussing. Is it? Scalar chain. One of the principle of Foyle. The 14 principles is it? 14 principles is under that we are seeing that one. The scalar chain. This the hierarchical, that is who has to communicate to who, or who has to report to whom. This is the communication process. This is called as an hierarchical structure and helps in coordination. It is going to build the coordination among the various departments. That is a department to departmental. Here employees to employee, or employee to a top level, or employee to a management level, and along with that one, it is going to help to make a good relationship to a departments to departments. That is an establishment of reporting relationship. So again I am going back. So here, so in the organizing we are identifying 4 steps. So in that one, first one, identifying a division of work. So here in the first process we are going to be identify the activity, that is what are the activities are going to be carried out in an organization. After that one, those activities are going to be made as a divisions of a work. They are going to be make a small groups on the basis of their work. After that one, we are going to make a departmentalization on the basis of their specialization, or on the basis of the nature of or function of a work, and on the basis of their product manufactured, and also on the basis of the territory. On these 3 bases, we are going to make a departments. So here, when we make a departments, we can see the specialization in the work, and we can reduce the duplication in the work process. So in that cases, and along with that one, it going to create the good coordination among the departments to departments, and it going to clear the that is who has to communicate to which person, or whom has to be communicated. That will be clearly stated in a departmentalization. After that, the third step is, that is assignment of a duty. So here, after the departmentalization, or after the making of grouping of an activity according to their functions and their product and their territory, after that one, we are going to identify the what are the duties has to be carried out. So here, they are going to be define the what the jobs or what the work has to be carried out. That is going to be seen, that one, assignment of a duty. So assigning the works to an worker. So particular person, he comes under the particular department. His duty is to make a production of a product, or his duty is to purchasing of, comes under the purchasing department. So his duty is to purchasing of raw materials. So whatever it may be, they are going to be defined, or they are going to be assigned the works to one workers. After that one, after the assignment, they are going to be make a, that is a reporting relationship, that is to whom he has to be communicated. So ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಶೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, that it should be defined in an organization. That comes under the establishment of reporting relationship. So here they are going to be define that one, to whom they has to take orders, and whom he has to accountable. Accountable is nothing but answerability, answer, providing an answer, that is reporting or a result of a work. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಇಂತ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಬ್ಲಿಗೇಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್, obligation ಅಲ್ಲಿ we are completed the works. So that work is going to be answered, means that is completion of a task. Completion ಆಗಿದೆ, again I am going to be ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು, whether for the top level, or whether for the manager, or whether for the leader, or whether for the superior. clear. That should be clear. So that is going to be identified in reporting relationship. And it's going to be, so by that building a reporting relationship, it's going to be provide the good coordination among the departments by hierarchical structure. So this is the process which belongs to an organizing. Okay. The next one, that is importance of organizing. Here, first thing, benefits of specialization. So here, first they are going to be saying the first importance is benefits of specialization. So here, organizing leads to systematic allocation of job among the workers. So here, by organizing, we can say is that one, there will be systematically allocated. Systematically, the jobs are going to be allocated under the departments. Right man is placed for the right job. Yes, now I had given the example here. A person A is specialized in finance. Financially specialized. This person has to be recruited, or this person has to be placed for a finance department, not for another department. When we recruit for another department, or when we place him for another department, there we cannot find the efficiency in the workplaces, because he doesn't know about the other works, because his knowledge, his skills and his education completely belongs to a finance. That can be seen. That's why the benefits of specialization. It increases the efficiency of the workers. Yes, obviously, when we place our right person for the right job, obviously we can see the efficiency in the workers. And the repetitive performances of a specific job on regular basis helps workers to gain experience and to specialization. Obviously. So, work A ಅನ್ನೋರು when he have repetitively work in an finance department means is well experienced in finance. Is it? So when we work again and again in same field means he is going to be gain a more knowledge related to particular work or particular department. So in that cases he will be specialized. So this is what that is going to be says that one benefits of specialization. Organizing going to be provide the benefits to our specialization, that is by allocating the jobs among the workers according to their knowledges and skills, and placing a worker for the right jobs, and it's going to be increase the efficiency. And along with that one, when he made a repetitive in particular work, so obviously his experience is going to be gained. So that is a special benefits of specialization. The next one, clarity in work relationship. Yes, obviously when we identify that one, whom they has to be communicate to whom, illange enagutte yaar order tagobeku, yarige communicate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, it will be clearly defined. Is it? So in that cases there is no confusion. So when there is no confusion, it is going to create the working relationship in a better manner. The establishment of working relationship clarifies the line of communication. So to whom has to be communicate to whom. Mr. A, B, C, D anta ankoona. So adhe tara E, F. So here Mr. A has to communicate to Mr. B. Mr. E has to communicate to Mr. F. Mr. C has to communicate to Mr. D. So this is going to be clearly defined in an organizing. That is by hierarchical structure. So, and specifies who is accountable to whom. That is, who is accountable to who. Yaru accountable agirtare, yaru result, who has to be communicate to, or who has to answerable to who. Yaru answer na yarige ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So that we are going to be simplifies. It is going to create the working relationship, and thus there is no confusion regarding performances of work, fixation of responsibility and communication. Obviously, when we have clear picture about ನಾನು ಇಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, Yes, I know very well. I has to communicate to Mr. B. Is it? So in that cases, there is no confusion. There is no errors in this process. Is it? The coordination also will going to be increased. So the guidelines can be easily reached to Mr. B or Mr. A. So in that cases, the work will be carried out in a smooth manner. So that can be identified in a working relationship, that is in an organizing. The next one, optimum utilization of resources. Yes, it leads to proper usage of all materials, financial and human resources by proper assignments of jobs. Yes. So here now meaning nodidvi. That is according to a work. By physical, financial and a human resources. Is it? So here the another benefit of organizing is it going to be helps to make a utilization of resources, whether it may be financial, material or physical, so or human resources, whatever it may be, it helps to make a better utilization. How means here? So it's going to be clearly says that one, clearly give a picture about the duties and works. So, ಯಾವ work complete ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾರ ಎಂಟರಲ್ಲಿ, it going to be simplified, that will clearly define. On that cases, if you can see the optimum utilization of resources. Assignment of job to workers reduces duplication of work, prevents confusion, minimizes wastages and allows the best possible uses of resources. Obviously, when we assign the works to worker, so the Mr. A has to work in finance department, is clear about his work, is clear about his responsibility, is clear about his to whom has to be communicated. Or when he clear about all such things, there is no duplication, there is no confusion, there is no conflicts. Is it? So there is no wastage, there is no overlapping. Is it? When we don't know or when we not clear about what the work I am going to be carried out, obviously there is a lot of confusion. Is it? There is a lot of mistakes in our work. Is it? And along with that, our efficiency also going to be increased. But when we have clear picture about what I am going to be do and for whom I am going to be communicating, when we have a clear picture, obviously we are being more confident and more coordinations can be built, and we have a clear communication among the person, and so there is no conflicts, there is no bias, there is no errors in the work process. That is optimum allocations of resources. The next one, adoption to change. It facilitates modification in organizational structure and revision of inter-relationship among people in order to update to environmental changes. Yes. So organizing anta andre iga Mr. A ಅನ್ನೋರು ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ, ಇಂಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ no, doesn't like it have a chances of modification. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, we can make it as a changes in our working places, that is to make a interrelationship and to make or development of a internal environment, that is organization ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ environment, we can call it as a internal environment. So that is improvisation or adoption to change. Those can be internally changeable. The next one, it also helps to provide stability and growth and despite of external changes occurring business environment. So it is going to be helps to make a stable in a working process or stable in a nature of a work, and along with the growth can be seen, the expansions can be seen, and along with that one will be ready to reach the external environmental challenges. So whatever the facts we are going to be seen in our external environment, easily we can be identifiable and easily we can be effectively overcome from those challenges. This is what the importance is of. The next one, effective administration. Again, so it gives a clear description of duties and responsibilities of each individual. So it is going to be give the clear picture about what the work is going to be carried out, administration, responsibility and duties. And this helps to avoid the confusion regarding the work and avoids the duplication of activity. It is going to be give the it is going to reduce the confusion or duplication of an activity. Thus, it helps in bringing efficiency in administration. So, when we don't have any conflicts, when we don't have any duplication, obviously we can see the efficiency in administration process. The next one, development of personnel. It stimulates creativity amongst the managers. So, it is going to be stimulate means it is going to encourage the managers in creativity, in innovative ideas and doing a new works in an organization. Effective delegation allows the manager to reduce their work load by assigning a routine job to their subordinates. So here the delegation is nothing but authority, responsibility, accountability. So when the manager give an authority or when he reduces work means that is by in a department, so it is going to be make a simplification of a works by giving an orders to his subordinates. So when we give the orders to a subordinates, even the subordinates will going to engage in an workplaces by doing the works in more effectively, and along with that one, that is it going to reduce the manager works. So the manager works will going to be simplified. That just he has to be verifies the report or verify the result of a work. So that's what is duty. So again, when we provide the routine in the same works, obviously the subordinates will going to be increase their efficiency and by gaining their own experiences in the working places. This helps subordinates to develop never skills and ability to deal effectively with emerging challenges. Yes. So again, the routine works ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ they are going to be experienced in particular field. So in that cases, when we facing a new challenges, so obviously they will be expertised in facing those challenges. They will be ready to face the challenges when we have make a particular routine in a particular works. So when we move on to particular departments, obviously we will be in some confusion because we are not expertised. So when we expertise in a single unit, obviously we will be well known about each and everything in a particular works. Is it? So that helps to an organizing. Thus it helps in the development of personnel. Personnel is nothing but employees. Employee na personal agi development ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ important roles na play ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. The next one, expansion and growth. The last importance, that is it going to give the expansion and growth. It helps in the growth and diversification of an enterprises by adding more job positions. Yes. So when we make a different departments under the product, or when we going to enlarge the activity, and new jobs are going to be arising. That is by diversification of the enterprises and positions, departments and new lines of a product. So when we are enlarged, when we are expanding our organization, so obviously the line of a product is going to be increased. When the line of a product is going to be increased, automatically the departments are going to be newly identifiable. For that departments, new jobs are going to be enlarged, or newly recruited persons can be, or positions can be seen. This helps in increasing the sales volume and profits of the enterprises. Obviously, when we going to enlarge the activities, or when we going to enlarge the business unit, so obviously it going to be identify the expansion of an activity. So we can see the profit and the volume, the sales volume also going to be increased. So these are the importances of organizing. Again I am saying, that is, the first one is benefits of specialization. In organizing, by making a department, we can see the specialization in their work process according to their function. After that one, in the clarity in working relationship, it going to be simplifies the what the work has going to be carried out and whom they has to be communicated to, whom it going to be, the communications will be clearly defined. That is answerability. Yaru yarige orders na pass madbeko, for whom there has to be make a answer, that will be clearly defined. After that one, it also going to be helps in making utilizations of resources. When we have a clear picture about the or what is the usage of raw materials or the finance or the human resources, when we have some clear about those duties, that thing can be, that is usages, duplication or wastages can be minimized. The confusions, everything will be minimized when we have a clear picture about the duties. The next one, adoption to change. So in an organizing, it going to be helps to make a adoptions of a changing in an environment. So when we are enlarging our activity, so our internal environment and external environment going to be plays a very important role. So when we make a enlarging, obviously it's going to be impact on the internal environment. So that thing is going to be adopted by making a stability and growth. So and it's going to be prepare the entire organization for a new challenges in an external environment. The next one, effective administration. So it's going to be clear about the duties and responsibility, and along with that one, it's going to reduce the confusion among the workers and avoids of duplication. There will be an effective administration in an organizing process. The next one, development of personnel. It's going to give the importance for our workers for their developments. When it's going to be helps to make our workers to make expertise in the particular field of works in our carry out in the works and developing their skills and ability to carry out the works in emerging challenges, new challenges. It's going to make a preparations for new challenges of the workers. The last one, expansion and growth. So here it's going to be plays a very important of, that is making a expansion and diversification. When we have when we grow, when we making a expansion, obviously the new jobs are going to be arise. The new departments are going to be arise. So it's going to give the opportunity for a new personality in an organization. So these are the importances of organizing we are discussed. So in today class we are discussed meaning and definition. The second one, we are discussed the process of organizing. The third, that is we are discussed importances of organizing. So in this one, but very important, that is process of organizing and importances of organizing. Must and should you have to learn any one meaning and any one definition in organizing. Yes, thank you.